Welcome to the Daily Dish with New York Times bestselling author Leanne Ely. Putting vibrancy back into your everyday life and feeding your heart, mind, body, and soul. Join us every day at 1 p.m. Eastern for Motivational Monday, Tuesday's Tip, Wise Woman's Wednesday, Thirsty Thursday, Food Fight Friday, and of course Q&A, where no question is off limits, and Soulful Saturday. Here is your host, Leanne Ely, and the Daily Dish.
We are live. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. How is your day going today? It is Wise Women's Wednesday, of course, which means we got some wise women's stuff to talk about. So who is here? Who is in the house? There's oh my goodness, look at you all already. We've got Juanita and Joanne and Linda and Lily and Catherine in the house. Apparently Kathy's here. Patsy and Jackie and Vicky and Elizabeth. Y'all are just storming the gates. And there's Kathy and Corliss. Hi, guys. That's what happens when you're just a little tiny bit late. And Heather and Jocelyn, Helen, Debbie, good to see ya. It's Wednesday. How's your Wednesday going anyway? Just asking. My Wednesday has started out well. So my son came. He was just going to spend the night here and then off to Knoxville. He was going to go. But it turned out of some extenuating circumstances, he's actually going to be here till at least Friday. So I'm a happy mama, you know? You're a happy mama when you get to see your children, right? So we're having a good time. There's Jane and Gwen. Thanks so much for showing up. Yes, you have a package to pick up. It has to be your swag. Of course it is. I saw it, Corliss. I saw it going out the door. I saw each one of them going out the door. And I am going to tell you, I blessed each one of those little swag bags as they were going out the door. I'm so excited about that. And if you're wondering what I'm talking about, I'm talking about, of course, Full Bloom. Full Bloom is happening on Saturday, April 24th. It is an all-day virtual event. We meet on this platform called Crowdcast, which allows us to see each other. It's sort of Brady Bunchy when we decide to just open up the gates and say hi to everyone. Hi, Elizabeth and Lucy. Good to see you. Denise, I'm so glad you're here. And when we get to do that, you know what we get to do? Connect. You know, connection is one of our biggest things. This is what keeps us from isolating. This is what keeps us from feeling alone. This is what keeps us from fear. You know, when we get to connect with like-minded people. That's what this is all about. Hey, Carol, I'm glad to see you. And Jackie. You are so sweet, Heather. Thank you. We're wonderful human beings, Jenny. Isn't that so sweet? So is Amber, by the way. Amber I don't have anything here. Well, I do. I've got all kinds of stuff. Everything that you have seen that is cool and designed, from our mug to our quote deck to our new journal, which you're going to be hearing about more and more as time goes on. Amber did that. And we love our Amber. There's not only is there talent here, there is just these beautiful souls who have this same mission as I do. And that is to serve. That is to help you to become the best that you could be. So we are blessed. We are indeed blessed, and I'm glad that we can be a blessing in your life. So thanks for that. Our quote of the week means, grace means all your mistakes now serve a purpose instead of serving shame. I first read this quote, by the way, it made my eyes water with just gratitude for this. Gratitude. You know why? I'm done with shame. I am done with shame. Shame kept me in the corner. Shame kept me back from my life. And when I finally decided to lose it, it was like taking off shoes that no longer fit. You know, shoes that were too tight, shoes that caused me to every painful step. It gave me so much freedom. And that's an invitation to you. That's what this quote is an invitation to you to start learning from your mistakes, put them in the experience folder and have the freedom and take the chance of walking away from it. Today, we're going to be talking about how wise women walk away from victimhood and walk into victoryhood. I'm going to teach you how to do that because it's all about your thoughts. How about that? You knew that was coming, didn't you? You knew that was coming. Hey, Carla, I'm so glad you're here. Don't apologize, Heather. We just wanted to make sure that our Amber was mentioned. And Susan, we're delighted that you're here. Yes. And Joanne, too, glad you're here. So those are, this is everything we have. Elizabeth, of course, she wants to get this journal. Can I blame you? I can't blame you. This Take Back Your Life journal, we were just talking about it. Jenny and I were just talking about it. And I'm just kind of teasing you and letting you see how much goodie, the goodness that's in here is just going to bless your socks off. It's going to be in the shop soon. As a matter of fact, you won't be able to get it until much later this month, but we will have a page that's a little bit about it, and you can say, hey, notify me when the journal is available, because it's going to be first come, first serve for the first run. Yes, we're going to run with it, but we are not. But you're going to have to be first on the list. You know, we buy them in limited quantities because we want to see how they go first. And you know, this is just how we roll. This is just how we roll. Yeah, we're going to get into that, and there will be a training that goes with it. So just mark your calendars right now, okay? May 15th, Saturday, May 15th, from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. It's a 2-hour workshop to learn how to use this to your best advantage, to bring it on down. Cannot wait. Saving dinner, that I can't tell you where to go, but just May 15th, it's 10 a.m. Eastern, okay, to 12 p.m. Eastern. That's all. Full Bloom, of course, is going bonkers, and you guys are signing up, and I'm grateful for that. The reason I'm so grateful is because we only have limited swaggy stuff. So the swag is available right now, today. I don't know if it will be at the end of the week. If you want that swag bag, and just ask the ladies here, is the swag bag on point or what? You get it in the mail, and it's goodies from us that we have lovingly picked out. Amber has lovingly designed, and it's fun stuff that you're going to really enjoy. I want you to get it. You're also going to get a digital one, but once the physical one is gone, it is gone. So savingdinner.com/bloom to see what it is all about. This year's theme, I Am Enough, is going to rattle everyone's cage. I promise you. I spent the day, half of the day yesterday anyway, just working on my workshop notes, and you know, it's got me right into, it's hitting me in my core. What can I say? I want you to also look for beauty support this week. Beauty support is our supplement of the week. You need this. We all do, because it helps us to build collagen. You know, we lose our ability to do that after about age 35. We don't do it like we used to. And collagen is important for every structure in our bodies. It is a structural protein, and it is a beauty protein, because it makes your skin better, your hair better, your nails better, and it also makes your knees feel better, muscles, bones, everything. And most of us have a deficit in it. 97% of us are not getting enough collagen. So this will help you. savingdinner.com/show for all the information and to get it. Also, you will get an ebook full of cook once, eat twice recipes. Fabulous. 50 recipes in all. And you'll love them always, because we make good recipes. And then don't forget about our mug. This is, again, lovingly designed for you. This is a limited edition number 1. I am amazing. Do you see that? It's a big word cloud that just lights everything up. And you can find out about that at savingdinner.com/mug. The reason we love that so much, you know, is because it has everything in there to enforce that wonderful environment that we're trying to create for ourselves. Same thing. And you savingdinner.com/mug for the post on what a mug does, a mindful mug does, and how to get one free. Also, Full Bloom decks. Oh, oh my gosh. I think you stay up at night just trying to get, you know, bum. There it is. Sarah's in the house. Good one, Sarah. The quote deck is also doing a number on, that's what this is for. You put these quotes on this little stand that also comes with your quote deck, and you read these little things that are you're either actively reading them or passively reading them. Either way, they're building those important neural connections in your head, especially if you're trying to dump some old thinking. Your life isn't yours if you are constantly care about what others think. Oh, and there's more. There's just like, here's one. Your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts. That's why this is Thought Week. Anyway, 52 of these. With this, you can find out about it at savingdinner.com/quote. Telling you, we're all about this. This is how we support you. We want to support you with the right stuff, not a bunch of crap. Amen. All right. So what about wise women? You know, what about this whole idea of being a wise woman? Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, we do have a pop-up shop. What did you buy? I can't wait for my stuff to come. It's still not here. And as soon as it will, I'm going to do some little show and tell so you can see. I'm sorry, my bra straps keep showing. That bugs me. Sorry, you guys. True story. But if you go to savingdinner.com/pop, P-O-P, you can see all the merchandise that's there. And this is just fun stuff that, again, designed by Amber, and it's all there. Just check it out. The flip-flops are a must-have, though, for our boat. We're going to do the boat thing. Today we're talking about, it's all about thoughts, right? This is Thought Week. We're talking about how our thoughts impart either wisdom for our lives, and if we're wise women, we're looking for that wisdom, right? Reticular activating system, check that box. But we are all about this. All about this. This is just something that we always have to do. Hold on, I got to get rid of Slack. It's going to be ringing me up. But we're all about this. And what I've decided is, there's two different camps to live in. We can live in the victimhood camp or the victoryhood camp. And in between somewhere when we're trying to lose all of that, it just depends on which camp we're kind of moving toward, right? Which camp we're moving toward. So I want to talk about this today because I think it's an important thing for us to see. It's sort of like inflammatory food versus not inflammatory food. There's food that heals and there's food that tears down. Well, the same thing goes with our mentalities. We can have a mentality that supports the vibrant life that we want to live, or we can have a mentality that doesn't, that just tears it down. We can have thoughts. The thoughts really are like the framework and the beams of the house, the foundation. It's all the structural stuff, kind of like beauty support. It is a structural thing. But if the structure's not there, then you end up in this place of these fragmented thoughts that aren't held together with anything, with this just piecemeal stuff, lots of victimhood, lots of pessimism, lots of everything, and none of it is supportive of the life that you want to live. We have to look at this so that we can be, we can get over into the place of victoryhood. Autumn just said she left the victimhood camp long ago. Good. And all this is really is just entrench ourselves in victoryhood. Entrench ourselves in the victoryhood. And we need to remember, that ultimately the price was paid for us, right? The victory was won. And that's the thing that we need to keep our eyes upon. The victory's already been won. So why would we go to this place of victimhood? Why would we live in a place that just is not relevant to what a vibrant life would be? Vibrant and victorious, they go together. They're two V's. I love alliteration. They go together. So if you're going to flip victimhood to victoryhood, what do you have to do? Well, I've got 11 things that wise women learn to do. And when I say learn, it's not like one and done. It's like learning. It's like, this is an idea. Oh, this is a practice. Oh, this is something that I need to do on the daily. Because what we do is who we are, Everything that we do is going to show up in our lives. Everything we don't do is also going to show up in our lives. So we can't talk a good talk and then not walk it. It's just that there's incongruency there. And when we're incongruent, we're not in our alignment assignments, and we just feel massively incomplete. We feel massively let down by our own lives and our own selves. And we just feel like there's a big hole in our hearts. And I think we do have a big hole in our hearts. So let's talk about this a little bit, because I've got 11 things for you. Those of you who take notes and want to write this stuff down, I think it'll be super helpful. I love this because, I felt like all of these things lit me up in a certain way. So number one is wise women learn to stop the blame game. The blame game is just to deflect from what's going on in your own life and figure out somebody that you can give the blame for. It's the ultimate way of not taking responsibility for your life, and is the ultimate way to make yourself absolutely miserable. So the other things that it does is it gives other people, you are voluntarily giving other people control over your own life. Think about that. We talked about yesterday giving your keys to your car to your 6-year-old to drive, because that's what we do when we allow our emotions to control our thoughts. Well, this is the same kind of thing is when we blame others and we let others dictate, how it is that we're going to feel, how it is that we're going to think, we are giving them the keys to our castle. And remember, one of the quotes, I think it's even in this particular quote deck, says that old keys don't open new doors. And that is the absolute truth. You can't do that when you're blame shifting. When you're blame shifting, you leave behind your responsibility and you lose the ability to be the creative inventor of your own darn life. What do you think of that? How about that? I mean, you get to orchestrate exactly what goes in your life and what doesn't. You get to choose all the things in your life that you want and the ones that you don't. Now, there are, of course, we've all been dealt, some of us more than others, been dealt a rotten hand on certain things, but that doesn't mean that that's the place that we live. That's the place that we pitch our tent. We don't need to pitch our tent there. Instead, we move our tent over here and just recognize that if we can't get past it with radical forgiveness, then we can work into radical acceptance, because there's nothing we can do about yesterday, but there's plenty we can do about today, and even with an eye toward tomorrow. So number one is we stop blaming. And number two is we believe that life is always working on our behalf. This is, it could be the half empty, half full glass thing, all of that. But when we believe that life is always working on our behalf, even when something crappy happens, even when it doesn't look like it because the car broke down and now I've got this and I've got this extra bill and I've got this and I've got that. If we start to look at the big picture trajectory of our lives, we can see how we were lined up for such a time as this. Have you noticed that? I look at my life, and as 2001 is when Saving Dinner opened its doors, right? And we were at that time called menumailer.net, if you remember, some of you were around back then. But, back then, I look back on when I started and all the things that happened beforehand and how they all helped to form who I am today and how I do my business. All of it. It all came in for good. Even the junky stuff, even the opportunities that were missed. I mean, I had auditioned for a couple of cooking shows, one for CNN. I was going to do a cooking show with Sanjay Gupta. Do you guys know who he is? I went down to Atlanta, Georgia, did it, and it turned out pretty well, and they really liked me and all of that. And it was between me and another guy. It was always like that, always between me and another guy, and always the 30-year-old guy with the ponytail and the beard won. But what are you going to do about that? It doesn't matter. It set me up for such a time as this. When I look at life like that, and I think that life is always working out for my behalf, and the opportunity that I see leaves, I say, well, thank you, because I know something better is on the other side of that. If we have that kind of an attitude, can you imagine how we're opening ourselves up for the more? We're no longer into this tiny little place of scarcity and there's no more and it was this or nothing. It opens us up for all of the things. I love to talk food analogies and all that, but it's just like this massive buffet, like the kind they have at Las Vegas, just like everything you can imagine is right there. Everything. Sarah's reading Dr. Gupta's new book. That's fabulous. I didn't even know he had a new one out. But life is working out on our behalf. I want you to believe that with all of your heart. And furthermore, look for the opportunities from the closed doors. Because again, those new keys aren't going to open the old doors. Number 3, they believe no one is out to get them, right? There's a lot of folks out there believing that everybody is out to get them. And I'm sorry, but there's a lot of conspiracy theories that are all based on, everybody's out to get them. They're going to, I'm not even going to get into what they're all about, but they're all based on fear. Have you noticed that? They're all based on fear, and they're all based on that everybody is out to get them. Nobody's trustworthy. I want to believe in the good of people. When I believe in the good of people, I'm going to have good people in my life. That's part of the reticular activating system, attracting in the things that you want. But when you believe that everybody's out to get you and they're all horrible and everything else, what do you think you're attracting in? You know, your reticular activating system is only going to be looking for that. And I'm done with all of that. It's negative. It brings you down. And it just, I mean, it might as well be, you know, a made for TV movie of some stupid plot to, you know, silence of the lambs, silence of the people. I don't know. I don't understand it. But, you know, the other thing is wise women also know that, you know, people do show you who they are with their thoughts, with their words and their actions and their follow through or not. But I will say, you know, let them, you know, believe them until you can't. Believe them until they show you a reason not to. Because isn't it so much better to live from that perspective instead of just, I don't believe any of these people, I hate them all, and they're all terrible, and they're all trying to kill me? I mean, if you do that, what do you think you're going to bring in? That's no one's out to get you, by the way. But there's a plenty of people out there who are out there to love you up. Look for them. They're there. I promise you. That's so sweet. Number 4 is cynicism and pessimism are off the table, right? If you don't want that in your life, you make a decision to take it out. And when you see that there's a pessimistic thought coming in, well, that'll never happen. Well, this will never. You know, Mark gets a little bit like that. He's a little cynical and a little pessimistic and, well, you know, that was lucky or whatever. And I said, no, it wasn't lucky. We were blessed. No, this isn't what it is. This is incredible. No. Look at this. Look at this. Look what God did. When we look for the blessings appear. And cynicism and pessimism don't bring blessings. Have you noticed that? Well, I don't think so, God. Can you imagine? Talk about ingratitude. I don't think so. Well, it's not going to happen. You're going to sit there, right there, the throne of grace? Oh, no, God, that's not it. I mean, why don't we act as if we're standing in front of the throne of grace all the time and decide that because of him that we do this and that we expect that? Pessimism and cynicism are off the table. They're just ridiculous. They're so incongruent. They're laughable. You get me on that? This has got to go. Got to go. Just garbage. It's garbage emotions and it gives garbage results. Period. Number 5, realize that you're not trees. You're not powerless. You're not stuck where you are. You know, circumstances have a way sometimes of just making us feel like, again? I mean, we're all there. Come on, this is part of the human experience. But our reaction to how things occur and happen, we can be these hapless victims. Well, it always happens to me. Or we can always, okay, who's this women's rights was a mistake person needs to go? Women make me angry. See you later, dude. But, you know, Diana Nyad said, find a way. Do you know why she said find a way? She said find a way because there's always a way. We can get wrapped up in the circumstances. We can say that it's, you know, victimhood all the way, or we can say there is a way. And I'm going to Diana Nyad my way out of that. You know, they talk about MacGyvering your way out of that. MacGyver was a fictional character, you know, he was fiction. You know, he could do anything with, you know, a bobby pin and some duct tape. But I'm going to tell you what, Diana Nyad can do anything, in my opinion, at 64 years old and what have you. She's just so incredible. Number 6 is that the tragic, sad stories that we used to tell are done. You know, they are now instead a placeholder in the experience file instead of something that we regale our friends with over and over again. Have you ever been around and said and heard sad sack stories from your friends and you're going, oh my gosh, here we go again? Or even worse, have you ever been that person to do that? I mean, be honest. We all have a story to tell. And I remember one time, this is a couple of years ago. So maybe a year and a half ago. And Marla and I were talking about a certain experience that we went through with a certain woman that nobody, I don't think anybody knows that, but I'm, no names, no necesito to do that. But we had this story and we started talking about it, and and do you remember this? And do you remember that? And the stuff that this woman had done was, it hurt me and it hurt her. And all of a sudden, we just both looked at each other and go, let's not tell that story anymore. And the reason why is we both lived through it. We both knew how awful it is. But why do that? Why relive the stuff? And that makes the emotions come out, that makes all of this stuff come out, when we understand that, remember the pianist from yesterday? There's no difference. Your brain knows no different. Every time you're saying something, your brain is imprinting. Your brain's listening to whatever you say. Oh, is this what it is? Are we playing the piano now? Your brain doesn't know the difference between you actually playing the piano or visualizing the piano. If you're emoting, right? Your brain is doing all the connections. It's flooding you with all the chemicals and making the connections. So if we're doing this with these stories on repeat, your brain's going to say, well, see, yeah, that's why we have to go to being victims. This all makes sense. Connect all the dots. Let's rewire those neural pathways and keep it going. Oregon Trail, here we come. You see where I'm going with all of this. When we do that, that's what sets us up for absolute dismal results. We can't do it. Those tragic, sad sack stories are gone. Experience file, one and done. We learned from it, moving on. Number 7, they've lost the blame shame game, right? And have stopped attacking loved ones for how they make them feel. When we start an argument or a conversation or something like, you always, what does that make you do? If somebody comes up to you and says, you always leave your socks on the floor. No, I don't. Not always, maybe 9 out of 10 times. It's it's just automatic defense mechanism. Nope, not me. I don't always do that. I don't. We reel back. When we're doing it, we should expect the pushback. We should expect the way that person feels defensive. And I've got to defend my honor. It doesn't work. And you know what the sad thing about it is? Nobody makes you feel anything. We don't give them, unless we've decided to give them the keys to our cars. We don't. We take responsibility for our own thoughts and our own feelings, and however we have chosen to do it. We can't do that. If we do that, we give away the power. We give away the power. And I'm telling you, those old keys are never going to open the new doors to the vibrant life that you want. This just underscores it. Number 8, they've stopped with the put downs of themselves and others. Have you ever been with someone, or have you done this yourself, of someone who just is constantly putting themselves down? Oh, I could never do that. I'm just not smart enough for that. Or you know what? That's for other people. It's not for me. Blah, 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 blah. I can't do this. I'm too fat. I'm too ugly. I'm not smart enough. I'm too late. I'm too old. It goes on and on. There's always an excuse. There's always a reason. And the thing is, when you're putting yourself down, you're putting down everybody around you. If somebody says to you, you look really pretty. No, I don't. You've just put them down for them saying something nice to you. Let's be women who are gracious, who know how to take a compliment and say thank you, who light others up just by being around them. The put downs, it's like turning off the light switch all the time. Respond if you say so to those people. Exactly. If you say so. We don't want to be that. You know what we want to do? We want to say, thank you. That just made my day. And I've told you, there's a couple of different times in my life. I saw it today in a timeline that somebody said something nice to me, and that, I lit up the room as I walked in. And this was somebody else who said that. And I told you that was from the early. And I thought, that is a beautiful thing to say to somebody else. And I am going to own that. I thought, well, good grief, aw shucks. But okay, aw shucks, but I'm going to own it. Yeah, I'll light up a room because you know what? I am lit up. I'm lit up by God Himself. I'm lit up in my beautiful self. I'm lit up in the vibrancy of my own life. That's going to show. And it's going to show in your life too. And this is what we do as wise women. And we get to do it together. Even better. They stopped. Okay. And so that was number 8, right? Autumn, good girl. Good girl. Number 9, they used to believe they were the only ones being targeted. Ooh, well, it's just me. They're going to get me for everyone else's abuse or taken advantage of or, learned the kindness. So, the person, well, somehow everybody, wipes their feet on me. I'm the only one anybody ever calls to do this because they know I'm going to do it. Well, I'm going to say this. First of all, martyrdom much, that's what that is about. And it is, slightly victim-y and all of that. It's really boring, as well. And secondarily, this is a woman who is on the cusp of wisdom. If only she could figure out this very simple answer to that question of all being targeted to all of this. And that is a kind no, I can't volunteer for this. No, I can't do that. Or no, that's not going to work for me. But bless you anyway. I love you anyway. Not bless your heart in the sarcastic Southern, whatever. But what we're talking about here is being that woman who understands that, saying no is okay. And being that if they say to you, well, you're the only one that we thought would take, that would do this and that has the talent or the ability, I'm sure, and I have great confidence in you that you'll find somebody else. But no, I cannot do that. That's what we do. We move out of martyrdom and into the freedom of being a victor, being victory bound. That's it. And number 10 is they've stopped yeah-butting and excusing themselves from all these thoughts that no longer serve them. So, when somebody says, but you're this and you're that, and yeah, but, somebody says, you're so talented and you should be doing blah, blah, blah. Yeah, but I can't. Or yeah, but having a business would be too hard. Or yeah, but I don't have time for that. Or yeah, but I'm too old. Yeah, butting your entire life and experience, getting away from, what you want in your life. What you really want, you can't yeah but away. You could look at it as the possibility. That's when we're dumping the MacGyvering and going into the Diana Nyading it. Because Diana Nyad figured it out at 64. If she can figure that out with sharks and jellyfish stinging her all the way across the ocean, certainly we can be able to figure this out without yeah-butting and excusing ourselves out of doing something a little dangerous and a little risky, maybe, to our amygdala. Yeah? Number 11 is complaining is a thing of the past. Wise women get it. Wise women get that when they complain, they shrink down. Literally, their hippocampus shrinks. Literally. That's part of your brain shrinking as you complain. It's low vibe. It's low energy. Nobody wants to be around it. And the wise woman sees it in herself if it's there, and it's repellent. When we repel the things that no longer serve us, we're walking into the wisdom path. Period. And when we walk into wisdom and we start looking for the blessings of this life, we start looking at the buffet table in front of us, we start looking for others and like-minded people that are lifting up this rising tide of all these wonderful, incredible, beautiful, wise women. That's going to be who we are. That's the identity. We're shedding all this old stuff. We've shed it. And it all starts with how we think and all the negativity and all the stuff that will arise. It does. But when it arises, what are we going to do with it? Are we going to entertain it? Or are we going to ask it to leave the house? Are we going to give them the keys to the car? Or are we going to ask them again to leave the house? Our minds are simply an expression of all the things that we're thinking, all this mindset stuff, all this stuff that we're thinking about, all of these things. We have complete and utter control over it. And when we say we don't have any control over it, then our brain just says, fine, I'm just going to run away with it then. We have that control. The same way we have control over whether or not we're going to put a seatbelt on. The same way we have control of whether or not we're going to go grab a bag of chips or just wait for a meal and have a mindful mug and then eat our dinner. We have control. To say we have no control is again giving up those keys to the very kingdom of our houses. You have this, and you're wise women, and that's why you're here. Yes, you are a wise woman, Helen and Joanne and Jocelyn. Yep, everybody. We're a wise woman. I'm going to think about that. That's good. I love that. Sarah said, if someone gives you a compliment that you feel you cannot accept, thank you. I'm going to think about that. Thinking, our thinking moves from, it comes in and it moves from back to front, because the hippocampus, that's where, this is where all the big thinking comes. Our monkey brain wants to just go crazy. And that's the problem, is we've let the monkey brain go crazy. No longer. We're reeling it in. We're getting really very exact about our thoughts so that we can be exact about our lives. Vibrancy requires it. It requires wise women's thoughts. And you are wise women. I'm delighted that you're in my community and you're a part of my life. Seriously. I cannot wait to see you at Full Bloom. If you are not signed up, now's the time. savingdinner.com/bloom, especially if you want to get a little package in the mail from us. And I'm also looking forward to next week, we're starting the hydration challenge. And it's just a way to keep moving through the tube, y'all, to keep us on track. And, there's a few weeks between each sprint as we go, but I don't want to lose you. So join us for the hydration challenge, will you? That's savingdinner.com/hydrate. If you want to go watch the webinar again, it was this Monday. I certainly thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Margaret says her tragic, sad stories are done. Isn't it so funny? Every single thing in here, has hit, there's something in here that hit all of us, I think. And, for me, I've butted. Number 6 was the tragic, sad stories that we used to tell, now serve as placeholders in our experience file. We don't go through those yarns over and over again. Yes, we don't. You know what we do? We go forward. We grasp each day with full and open embrace and look forward to what's on the menu. There it is. All right, you guys are lovely. I really appreciate the fact, you're lovely and you're lovelies. And thank you so much for joining me today. It was my great pleasure to be here. I will see you tomorrow, Thursday, for Thirsty Thursday. Peace be with you. Bye.
Thanks for watching. You can find us on YouTube on the Saving Dinner channel or on the Saving Dinner Facebook page. Check back daily for new episodes, Monday to Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern. If you missed the live show, you can watch the replay. Until next time, pinkies up.